Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Down. I was gonna say let's land on Dargonus, but let's speak to Solomorn in the bath real quick. And then Dargonus. These little bath conversations don't take very long. Alright, Solomorn. I wonder what arbitrators do to unwind. Asks the arbitrator. At once. So, unwind is not a code word, and you're not in any danger. Solomon looks around the bath chamber in faint bewilderment. Do you truly want to know how arbitrators spend their time off duty? Well, why not? I suggest a little shooting contest. We'll use empty bottles as targets. Guards, bring me a weapon and set out the targets. It's probably a ballistic check, and I don't have a ballistic skill. The enforcers hasten to carry out your order, and within seconds are setting out the bottles that will serve as your targets, and deferentially placing a firearm into your waiting hand. Let's keep it simple. 3 rounds, 3 shots. Whoever's the better shot wins. You go first. Three rounds isn't enough. It could end in a draw. We'll do it this way. It's a draw after 2 rounds. If you land the 3rd shot, the victory is yours. In Calixtus we call this the attacker's advantage. A good way of teaching arbitrators that if you get the chance to shoot first, you must hit the target. And not very good odds. Alright, shoot. Watch how it's done. I'm gonna miss. You fire. The bottle remains unscathed, and the wall is now adorned with evidence of your miss. The proctor raises his weapon, and the bottle shatters. Now we shoot with our eyes closed. Why not? Visibility in combat is usually far from ideal. The proctor closes his eyes and waits for his turn to shoot. Open one eye. Shooting blind is darn difficult. Not that it's going to matter. The steadiness of your hand fails, and the shot goes wide. Solomon makes a gesture toward the target, and Glado makes a lightning-fast leap. The bottle shatters in the Cyber Master's powerful jaws. Congratulations, Solomon, you win. Take a bottle of my finest Amasec as a reward. Thank you, Rogue Trader. I'll make sure to keep the empty bottle afterward, in case you want to have another shooting contest. I think that's a little smack talk. A lot of these bath conversations have not played into my character's strengths, and the ones that have, I think we did too early to succeed the skill checks. Real quick, check in with our reputation. Alright, to Dargonus. So there's Administratum. Let's go to the palace first. The Von Valancius Palace. And Pascal, you'll stay. We'll grab Elliot. That's it. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long, full-dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I'm Clementia Versarian, Court Chancellor of the Von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all of Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all. But as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, you subjects hope that you'll become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Clementia. Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return. The lines on his brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Scalander, Secretary at the Administratum Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. It was uneventful, thank you. I'm glad to hear it, your lordship. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds? Or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have. Governor Urban Drivestem has been notified of your arrival in Dargonus. We'll visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well within hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? Clementia nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I'm of House Versarian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. Chancellor Versarian has held her position at the Von Valancius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodore's respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. The Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Abelard looks at you in surprise, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here with you to greet me? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the Administratum Palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distance of your domain. Chancellor Versarian appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new rogue trader. I'd like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. You're dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me. Achilles bows his head. I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the Von Valancius Protectorate most useful. Yeah, we'll see, buddy. Spiders in a jar. weapon only back here real quick. Long live the rogue trader. Setting upon the altar is an ancient image of Saint Macarius, who's essentially Alexander the Great in 40k. Its regal frame is covered in marks. The relic was claimed in a battle on a remote and forgotten world. Inspire us with strength to give us the courage to overcome troubles and suffering in your name. The plaque lists the names of each rogue trader to have led the Von Valancius dynasty, dating back to the day the capital world was founded. Similar finds all over the planet. Many sages and acolytes of the arcane sciences were puzzled over this trophy brought from a forgotten world on the outskirts of the Cronus Expanse. Turn your gaze to this object, which is invested with special significance. What's this guy say? I've heard of the rich history of the Von Valancius, but these stories are beyond my expectations. I've read about this one. A huge role in the development of the imperial cult of Dargonus. The mission of the Radiant Ecclesiarchy was founded after the arrival of 2 void ships carrying generations of pilgrims. This artifact was found in the lifetime of a great ancestor of the current rogue trader. It is revered as a shrine, marking the triumph of humanity over its enemies. I know people who are willing to pay good money for such curiosities. Serves as a reminder of the sacred mission of the rogue traders, whose every thought and aspiration is directed toward one goal: the service of his will. This completes the retelling of the Von Valancius Chronicle. Lift up your thoughts to the chosen ones of the God Emperor, and thank him for granting such a protector to your world. Glinting in the light, the coin falls into the clear water and sinks to the bottom. Such illustrious society, such well-heeled nobles. Indeed, it would be worth visiting Dargonus even without getting to know you, Shireen. This world offers huge scope for doing business. An ancient cogitator linked to the palace's system networks. Make your people leave, Dom and Donnie Dawson. Battle questions are getting in the way of my watch. A living fruit-bearing tree in the heart of a hive world is a fantastical sight. They probably use a lot more water to tend to this tree than the average Dargonus citizen can hope to receive in their daily ration. The walls of your home suffocate me, Ellentalk. I long to leave this twisted world at the first opportunity. Welcome, your lordship. I'm informing you of the location of the chambers on your dynastic estate. The main throne room is up the stairs and straight ahead. Your subject Achilles Scalander informed me that he humbly awaits the opportunity to meet with you there. If your lordship wishes to rest after your long journey, then your personal chambers are up the stairs and on the right. If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, I'll be right next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting your orders. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be cleaning up in the blue chambers. What? Again? The handles and the handrails in the blue chambers are polished 5 times a day. Might as well send a servitor. You talk back to me one more time, I'll grant you your wish. You'll be cleaning up as a brainless, battery-powered tin can. There's a faint mark on the polished mantelpiece, which is likely left by a glass. The leather covers bear the names of the authors, mostly philosophers and theologians from Dargonus. The spines of the books are trimmed with gold. Race catcher boots. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains plus 50% dodge against that enemy's attacks until the wearer's next turn. The Conchator is producing rhythmic sounds, among which a faint ringing stands out. The remains of a plaque can be seen on the frame. Alas, the inscription is completely indistinguishable due to the patina. This antique piece of furniture is obviously well cared for, but its surface is still covered with a lot of scuffs, scratches, and stains. Traces of the previous rogue traders who sat at this table. Sturdy safe equipped with several bizarre mechanisms. Multi-melta. The largest type of melta weapon, usually only employed by the Adeptus Astartes, are mounted upon Imperial vehicles. By bringing your hand to the scan panel behind the books, you open a hidden door. The bed for the head of a rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner. The mysterious Xeno artifact rests in a stasis field. The shelves of the library are laden with dusty tomes. Your eyes linger on the works of several Administratum adepts and the memoirs of some unfamiliar explorer of distant death worlds. Mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. It's like a blast rifle, doesn't it? Mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. That is definitely a last rifle. That may be a Drukhari rifle. Yeah, looks Xenos. That one's definitely not. Alright, Plasma Shaper Gloves. These gloves grant the wearer a +10 bonus to tech use. They also increase the damage of plasma weapons by +3. Zealot Cloak. When the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains +1 stack of the Zealot effect until the end of combat. Zealot. The wearer deals +10% damage with their area attacks for each stack of the Zealot effect. An empty glass and 3 unopened bottles of wine sit on a finely crafted table made from dark marbled wood. Strange objects lie behind the glass of the display case. The complete absence of explanatory labels makes it impossible to learn what they are. The rare books arrayed on these shelves, with their lavish and most pretentious bindings, seem to be identical. Dust is accumulated on the raised oil smears. If servants ever access this room, they do so very rarely. The secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you can easily imagine Theodore reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand. Choose a book. Several books are stacked next to the sofa. Some appear ancient, while others look like they have never been opened. Among Theodore's data that has been restored using your cogitator is the phrase, Litanies of the Motive Force. It is the title of one of the books here. Alright, choose the book, Litanies of the Motive Force. As you pick up the book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger. You notice a short description in the book. From a faithful servant of the dynasty in lasting memory, DVV. Have a glass of wine. 3 sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They're labeled Grandmaster's Blood, Boon of Terra, and Flame of Purity. Recall the vision of the past that Adira told you about. She said Theodora's favorite wine was Flame of Purity. Pour a glass of Flame of Purity. The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum as an unseen motor stirs into motion. Change the music. The vid screen of the data slate before you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor and Duty. Choose the piece, the Symphony of Honor and Duty Part 2. The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly without any change. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in the nearby wall. Inside, you find a databank bearing the Von Valancius coat of arms. Alright, we got the databank from Dargonus. An engraved data drive found in a cache from Dargonus. The information it contains has been carefully encrypted. That's part of the secret ending. According to the inscription of the statue, this is a gift from House Gaprek to the Von Valancius dynasty. Rogue Trader, the Marshal is ready to meet with you. You wish to commence the audience? No, I have other business. We'll come back to that. Now we'll check everything out. Speak to Achilles first. While we're on Dargonus, I'll check the Secretary's reports and keep an eye on the logisticians. Master Danrock does his job well, but a little scrutiny goes a long way with him. Where's this go? Oh, shortcut out of here. I remember this being here. The Curiosity Merchant.
What do we have here?
My compliments to your taste in art. The collection here is extensive and most interesting. My appearances cause a slight disturbance in the ranks of the servants of the Omnissiah assigned to the palace. Analysis of the performance of rituals and maintenance litanies has produced a satisfactory result. Ah, good old Dargonus. It's boring here without Lady Theodora. We'd love to liven up this sleepy little place with a couple crazy decrees, and public floggings of flabbergasted nobles. The Von Valancius Dynasty Throne, a visible symbol of the Rogue Trader's power, which now belongs to you. I'm talking to Heinrich is going to start this conversation. So we'll wait till next time. Oh. Yes, that's the one. From his ship. Would you like to hear the latest news from Footfall? Most definitely. Incidentally, does High Factotum still take private orders? Wish to obtain a number of valuable items from Lord Takara. Talk to this guy. I think he's new. A finely dressed man greets you with an incredibly radiant smile. His meticulously polished jaw augmentation reflects the palace's interior as sharply as a mirror. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lysarius Carmelin, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my offerings. That is a beautiful eagle. What is its name? His paw's jaw shining, Lysarius extends his hand toward the bird, a hand likewise made of shiny metal. Her name is Aquila. As soon as I saw her, I knew a creature of such proud grace simply must be properly taken care of. Now Aquila is an integral part of my life, as I am of hers. With a shrill cry, the eagle stabs her benefactor's metal palm with her beak. Like medic groans, while the merchant is still smiling, as he modestly puts his hand back into his clothes and out of sight. Apologies. Aquila is still getting used to my replacement extremity. She liked the old one better. Judging by Aquila's displeased look, the bird's fondness for her owner's original extremity was of alimentary rather than affectionate nature. I'll point to his implants. Was your friendship with Aquila the reason you needed those augmetics? You are exceptionally observant. The man laughs softly and melodiously, then shakes his head. Developing a friendship with such a noble creature is a thorny path, and after a moment of especially profound disagreement, I had to have my hand replaced. But this, Lysarius touches his jaw implant, his pride evident. This was purely for the beauty of the thing. I used to be passionate about finding rare augmetics, and could not resist having them installed, even if they were made by, shall we say, not purely righteous hands. But the fine craftsmanship, the razor-sharp outlines. Please keep this a secret from the Adeptus Mechanicus. I know the Red Priests don't condone things like that. What kind of curiosities do you sell? Lysarius points to his eagle, still smiling. Equipment for noble cyber assistance, of course. The demand is modest, as few in the Imperium can afford such luxury. I'm glad to have found my calling. Judging by his expensive attire and ostentatious augmetics, Lysarius' wealth is unlikely to stem directly from his curiosity business. He came here following his heart, it seems, and not his greed. I'm a rogue trader and I seek the rarest of curiosities. Do you have anything of that sort? My collection will offer you the biggest and broadest choice in all the expanse. However, even a devoted enthusiast like myself has his limits. There is a certain captain who owns a unique protocol, a family heirloom, which he has refused to sell me. His ship is called the Renegade's Fall. Perhaps you can chart a path to his hoarded treasure. I'll send you the coordinates of the place where we last met. I want to see what curiosities you have. Domination and Elimination. The Cybermassive gains plus 10 strength and deals 100% more damage. If the Cybermassive is adjacent to an enemy at the end of the Overseer's turn, the Overseer gains plus 1 resolve until the end of combat. If the Overseer has Heretical Adherent, they also gain a +2 bonus to random characteristic stacks. Inanimate Shield. The Servo Skull Swarm gains +5 Fellowship and Intelligence. While any signal effect is active, the Servo Skull Swarm gains +1 Deflection, cannot be overpenetrated. It counts as partial cover for its allies. That's pretty cool. Death Grip. The Cybermassive gains +5 Strength and Weapon Skill and deals 100% more damage. Whenever the Cybermassive falls unconscious, it gets a stacking 100% bonus to damage dealt until the end of combat. Synergy. The Cyber Raven gains +10 Willpower. The Cyber Raven is adjacent to 2 or more creatures after Relocate is used on it. Psychic powers relayed through the Cyber Raven are calculated as if Psi rating were increased by +1 to the end of the Overseer's turn. The Overseer has Iconoclast Adherent. It can relocate twice per turn. Winged Illusion. The Cyber Eagle gains +5 Agility and Perception and deals 100% more damage. When the Cyber Eagle starts soaring, adjacent enemies must pass a Willpower Resistance test with a +20 bonus or suffer +1 stack of Perplexed. Cyber Eagle deals +100% more damage to perplexed targets. And Analytics Module. Whenever an ability extrapolated through the Servo Skull Swarm affects other creatures, the Servo Skull Swarm gains a stacking +5 bonus to Intelligence and Fellowship until the end of the Overseer's next turn. If the Overseer has Dogmatic Adherent, once the Servo Skull Swarm extrapolates 5 abilities in total, it immediately deals 13 shock damage with 8% armor penetration to each enemy in a 4-cell radius. Then the ability counter is reset. This seems like the best one. So this would be 200% more damage if they're perplexed. And it gives that willpower resistance test, which, if they fail, the main character gets an extra attack on them. That seems pretty good. Again, partial cover, mobile partial cover seems pretty good. Sure. Alright. Well, that's cool. So I'm going to call it here, and next time we will speak to Heinrichs and Achilles Scalander. Then maybe Clementia Versarian, and at some point we need to talk to Salamorn as well. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.